Hey there, Scorpio, and welcome to your week of January 31st general tarot reading. We're going to be looking at your energy over here on the left. In the center, we're going to look at some potential challenges for you, and we're going to look at some potential outcomes over here on the right. We're going to clarify all these and tie everything off with an oracle card at the end of the video. These are general readings, though, so Scorpio, some of this or all of this, or maybe even none, will resonate with you. If it does, that's awesome. If it doesn't, it's just not part of your message. And these readings are for, of course, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Crosswatchers are welcome as well. Just know that if you are a crosswatcher, some of the messages may get a little mixed up here. So let's take a look at your energy, Scorpio. We got the Queen of Swords, the Star, and the Knight of Wands. The Star is Aquarius' card, so you may have Aquarius in your chart. Might be dealing with an Aquarius this week too. Maybe you're an Aquarius watching this for Scorpio. With the Queen of Swords here and the Star and the Knight of Wands, this really tells me you're going after your wishes in a very honest way, in a very this is for me, right? You're going after your dreams and the things you want to come true in your life in a very honest, open kind of way. There's no saying oh, I'm pursuing my dreams, or you're kind of you don't talk about it, or saying oh yeah, I'm going after what I want to in my life, right? You're saying no, I'm going to be I'm going to be a world famous quilter or something like that. Or I'm going to be a famous lawyer or a movie star or a YouTuber or an influencer or something. You're being very open and honest with that. So I like that as well. You're really going after this, really going with this. And that's really a good sign, because the universe really appreciates stuff like that. You'll hear a lot of people talk about when they are open about what they want in their life, people really, and the universe kind of draws in that energy. So that's really awesome here. So let's take a look here and see what we got here. This that kind of just popped in my head. You ever heard the phrase "fake it till you make it"? Right? That's a good term to use, because that's kind of you putting out the energy of yes, I am what I am, and then the world kind of supplements it for you. But this is you're not even doing that. You don't even have to fake it. You're just doing this till you make it, and that's that puts you leagues ahead of those kind of people, right? So let's take a look at your energy card clarifiers. We got the Three of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands here. This is, you're willing to work with others here with the Three of Pentacles. Maybe you already are working with others, or you're maybe looking at working with some other people in your life. Interestingly enough, all the cards that came out as clarifiers have multiple people on them. There's two here and two here as well. So that looks really good in your future. So I'd say working on a team is going to be really good for you in the future. So that's awesome. Or at least you're in that mindset of let's be a team player, right? As long as we're all achieving our own goals here. So that's great. With the Seven of Pentacles here as well, Seven of Pentacles talks about sometimes you may have some things obstructing you from achieving what you want to achieve. Of course, there's this unicorn-like creature stopping these people from reaching this tree. And that can be a thing. It can be sometimes there's obstacles in your path, but it feels like you're ready to overcome them. You're looking to do what you can to overcome these obstacles, whether that's working with others to do that or not. And with the Six of Wands here as well, it's walking the walk and talking the talk, which is really this energy, I really didn't mention that actual phrase here, but your energy is really screaming that to me, where it's you're saying, I am going to be this, and I'm working towards being this, right? And you're really lining all those actions up. That's beautiful, Scorpio. So let's take a look at some potential challenges here for you. See what's going on. All right, Scorpio, what do we have for you? We've got the Emperor, the Three of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles here. The Emperor is Aries card, so you may have Aries in your chart. Again, might be dealing with an Aries this week here. Might be someone, you might be kind of an older, maybe authority type figure person in your life. Doesn't necessarily have to be a guy. It could be a woman as well. This is just energy. It could be any gender, of course, but the Emperor is just energy, right? And the Emperor, really, of all the you'd be surprised here how well balanced the Emperor is when it comes to feminine and masculine energy. So with the Emperor, it could really be any gender at all. So just watch out for an Aries maybe. So but here it's really seeming if you are dealing with an Aries, that's kind of raining on your parade here, because the Three of Cups is a card of celebration. So this Emperor could be kind of raining on your parade. Jeez, maybe they're stealing the words right out of your mouth, or maybe there's some things you'd like to say to them, right? Like, I don't know, like right there, I just had like a real hard time saying that. So that might be something as well, where it's like this person's kind of an authority figure or very mature energy in your life, and you want to like kind of mouth off to them because they're, you know, sticking their nose where it doesn't belong, or they're just being, you know, unusually strict or something to you. And you really want to say something, but you can't get the words out because, you know, maybe I shouldn't say this, or maybe that's not something I should be trying to, you know, I don't want to rock the boat, right? Like, because it's just like one little thing, don't let it get to you, that kind of deal. With the Queen of Pentacles here as well, it really makes me feel like a lot of you need to focus down on your health and your wealth at this time. You know, the Pentacles can represent your health, your wealth, and your time. So I feel like that's going to be something that's quite important for a lot of you this week. So be wary of that. With the Emperor as well here, something I didn't quite touch on, you maybe need to mature a bit more at this time, right? Maybe take some more responsibilities. You know, it's good to be saying like, I'm going to be doing this, this, and this, but maybe it's time you need to mature and buckle down a bit too, because the Three of Cups, as we said, talks about celebrations and such. So it may be kind of a thing where you're celebrating a little too much, and it's kind of affecting you in your, you know, your time frame and your and your health and such, right? As well as just kind of making you seem immature, right? So let's see what we got for some clarifiers for those cards as well, for this challenges you might be facing this week. What have we got? We've got the Three of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Eight of Wands here. Yeah, with this, there might be some communication issues. The Eight of Wands represents passionate communication, or just communication in general as well, just quick communication. So that might be a problem where, like I say, like I was having some communication troubles there with you, Scorpio. So you might be having some as well, maybe just trying to get your point across. Might be kind of a generational gap thing here where you're trying to, you know, tell somebody, you know, things aren't like they were when they were young, you know, and nowadays times and things have changed, and it certainly has. It certainly has, I'll tell you that. My father, for instance, really was hammering me hard when I was younger to go to college and stuff like that. And I was like, it's not like, college is way more expensive now. And I like, if things don't work out, I just have a ton of student debt, right? Student loan debt and stuff. And he's like, oh no, it's all right, you can pay that off. And it's like, well, what happens if, you know, things don't work out, or this ends up not being something I want, right? And it's like, what happens then? He's like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, well, there you go, right? Like, it's not like back in your day when, you know, you could have like, my father only has like a grade 8 education, and he just went in, he's like, I'm gonna work at a lumber mill, and they're like, yeah, come on in, right? Like, it's like, yeah, that doesn't work that way anymore. You know, so that might be something you might be dealing with this week. With the Three of Swords here and the Four of Swords as well, yeah, there might be something you need to do, maybe something you need to cut out of your life, but you're just really unwilling to do it here with the Three of Swords, where that's, you know, maybe standing up for yourself and cutting out that kind of like more timid version of yourself, or more timid tendencies you have, or, you know, those kind of like, you know, holding you back, like, oh, you know, like I'm going to hold my tongue when I know I really shouldn't, or, you know, those kind of things. Like maybe you need to stand up for yourself this week. And with the Four of Swords here as well, you might be feeling quite restless, right? Not able to relax, not able to kind of do what you want to do when, you know, you get home and you're, you know, have your time alone to kind of relax and recover and rejuvenate, right? You might be having some trouble there because, you know, you have this kind of stuff all on your mind. You know, I want to say this to them so bad, or why don't they just understand, or something like that. Or maybe even, like I say, because you're, you know, doing so much partying and going on, it's affecting you, so that you know, for myself, like, as just for instance, like I work back shift a lot, I only work back shift. But it's a thing where, like, I want to hang out with my friends. It's like, well, they want to hang out kind of right at the same time, like I would be dead asleep, right? Like partway through that. So I have to get up, like, you know, like a bunch of hours early, and I'm just exhausted. I go hang out with them, and it just messes me up for the rest of the weekend. So you might be experiencing something like that, where you're just, you know, spending so much time, you know, goofing off and having fun and celebrating and stuff, that it's affecting you in a physical way. So let's look at your potential outcome cards here, see what we got going on for you here, Scorpio. What do we have for our Scorpios for this week? We got the Nine of Swords, The Three of Pentacles again. I love it. And the Empress. That's awesome. We got the Emperor and the Empress have both come out. That's really beautiful. Could be for some of you if this Aries you might be dealing with, maybe like your significant other. So just be careful of that. Maybe that's someone who you want to really talk with. Makes sense too, because we got the Three of Pentacles coming up twice here, and that talks about like working on a team. And the ultimate team in my mind is that kind of a partnership between you and your significant other. That is kind of the ultimate team, in my opinion. It's like you two against the world, right? So that could be a thing here for you this week. What I like here, though, for those of you who that is the case, we got the Three of Pentacles on both sides. So that represents to me like this bond, this still community of working together is going to survive whatever this challenge is through the center. So I love that. That's beautiful. The Empress herself does represent a lot of abundance, a lot of beautiful, positive energy, sort of this endless supply of like energy. You can see with this waterfall here in the background, this bountiful harvest she has at her feet here of wheat. She really just represents going through tough times and going through experiences in your life to get the things that you really want here. So again, we're going to be going through a lot here for you, Scorpio, not just now, but in your life ahead, I feel. But it's ultimately going to be very, very worth it here. With the Nine of Swords here as well, the Nine of Swords really represents your fears and your doubts and those concerns in your mind. I would say don't pay so much heed to them, because you can see with this bed she has, her sheets, there's all these roses on them. It says and that's to say you're in a bed of roses. Like, you're in a very good position. It's just sort of your fears and doubts. If you give them power, they will take it, right? If you don't give them power, you're going to realize, oh, I'm in a really good situation here, actually. Things are going really good. So I like that a lot. So let's clarify your your outcome cards. Well, let's clarify your challenges here, Scorpio. Let's clarify your outcome cards and see what we got going on for you. Got the Queen of Swords. Again, we got the Two of Cups. And we got the King of Pentacles. We had the Queen of Pentacles back here. So again, divine counterparts. Once again, so be aware of that. For a lot of you, it could be your partner that you're dealing with this week, or someone you feel a significant connection with here. And especially too with the Two of Cups as well, because the Two of Cups can represent a soulmate too. Very interesting. That's very interesting. So we had the Queen of Swords repeat as well here. So the Queen of Swords, again, I just feel like just being honest and open with everybody. I feel like that's kind of a big theme here, is because we're talking about like biting your tongue and not saying what you should say here. The Queen of Swords is the opposite. She would definitely tell somebody if they're treating her badly, like, this is the deal, like, you know, fuck off, right? Like, she's definitely going to tell you to like go like mess off and screw off. Like, if you're treating her poorly, she's going to let you know. So I feel like that's a very important, like, open, honest communication here. With the Two of Cups, again, I feel like this could be with your partner or someone you feel a significant connection with. The Two of Cups can also just represent a choice that needs to be made too here. So maybe that is the choice of whether you're going to stay your tongue or you're going to actually talk and tell them like, hey, this is what's up. Like, I don't appreciate this, or this isn't the way it used to be for you anymore, right? Like, this is how it is now for us. So, and with the King of Pentacles here, there's a lot of hard work in your future, I see, but it's for, like, again, with that Empress, right? That Empress is telling us it's for a big harvest, for a bountiful harvest. It's for a ton of abundance in your future, right? We're heading in a good direction here. I love it. This is awesome. So let's tie this all off with an oracle card here for you, Scorpio. What do we have here? Let's see what your oracle card is now. The Koi Fish Spirit saying there is always enough, right? There is room enough for everyone at the top of the mountain. Like that's something I feel a lot of people maybe misunderstand or don't think is the case, is that there is enough for everybody, right? That always doesn't necessarily translate well, because some people don't feel like there is enough room at the top, because, you know, it's a very cutthroat world out there sometimes, or in a lot of different businesses and things like that. Or when it just comes in like relationships too, like you may not, sometimes people feel like there's not enough room in a relationship for both people. That's interesting. So, just this popped into my head just now as I was saying that. There's this movie called Mallrats. It's a movie from the 90s. I really enjoy it. It's a really good comedy. But there's a character in it, his name is Banky. And Banky, is it Banky? No. It's the same actor who plays Banky in another movie. Anyway, so this one of these characters, one of the main guys, he talks about at a point in the relationship where he felt like his relationship was kind of like spooning with his girlfriend, where like he had one arm over her, but then he didn't know what to do with his other arm, right? And he felt like the relationship was like that, you know. And some people feel like that, where they feel like there's not enough room. Like, what do I do with this other thing here? Like, there's not enough room for it. So now I have this kind of like, you know what I mean? There's this out of place part of me in this relationship. And so that may be how you're feeling here, but there is always enough room. And I feel like you just need to kind of talk it out with this person, whether this is your partner, whether this is a boss or an authority figure in your life, or just someone who you feel a significant connection with. I feel like you just need to talk it out with them and find that place for your arm, you know, your metaphorical arm here, maybe your physical arm too, right? So that's what I got for you. Hope this has helped you out. Hope this has resonated with you. If you want to help out the channel, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign videos too. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you, Scorpio, in the next video.